Hey, greetings ESL 106. This video is to talk about Skill 9, summarizing an article. And this is in your book. It's on page 205 in your book, and it's in Module 9 here in Blackboard. So follow me. We're going to take a look at this section in your book, and then I'm going to show you your assignment in Blackboard just to get you started on summarizing an article. Here I am on page 204, and I see in that white box that they give a good idea about what it is to write a summary, a good summary. And I wonder, how would you finish this sentence? A good summary is, according to the book, according to your experience, what adjectives might you use to describe a good summary? Some of the adjectives I use are these. It's brief, it's short, it's accurate, right? It gives the right ideas that were expressed in the article. And it's in your own words. A good summary is restating the ideas in your own words. So here, let's just take a look at this and talk about how to write a good summary. Here are some of the steps that I want you to think about. In fact, I'm going to ask you to do this week. First step is to read the article. Too often, students want to just get an assignment done without really reading the article. And that often shows in their summary. So take a minute, read the article, understand the ideas in the article, take notes, right? Highlight things and write things in the margins. That's really an important step. Please don't skip that first step. You've got to read the article and understand it. Then you're ready to take your notes and make a graphic organizer or an outline. Get an idea in your own words what the organization and how the supporting points are used in an article to make a central claim. You're trying to find the main idea. You're also trying to find the main support. And so take your notes and organize them in your own outline or graphic organizer. After that, you're ready to write a summary using your notes, not the sentences from the book. And this is key to avoid plagiarism, to avoid using someone else's words as your own. You want to use your notes. So the keywords will show up, right? But it will be a different grammar. It will be a different word order. It will be in your own words. You're going to restate things to show the main ideas and the main supporting points in the summary. So guys, here's a first sentence. And let's just review together what I want to see in the summary you write. I want to see in the first sentence the title of the article, right? You can start like this, the article, and then give the title. Written by, and give the author. Or if you don't know the author, you can give the source. Where did you get this article, right? The New York Times or the textbook, Making Connections. And after that, you're going to use one of these verbs, explains that, reports that, shows, claims, and then you're going to give the main idea. This is how to begin a summary. I want you to use something like this as your first sentence. After that, follow up with more sentences. I want your paragraph, your summary, to be 4 to 6 sentences. Okay, so it's brief, but it's not just one sentence. It needs to be at least 4 sentences. So now you're going to have to talk about the main support. You've given us the main idea, but how did the writer support this main idea, right? And you're going to use these expressions. The article points out that, or the author explains that, and you can use this for each sentence in your summary. You're showing us that these are the ideas from the article, not your ideas, but you're putting these ideas in your own words. Don't include details, examples, small facts. That's not for the summary. The summary is for main points that you think come together to really express the main idea of the article. So here, look in your book. On page 205, they give you a nice list of the signal words or the summary words that are used in an attempt to restate in this way that we tell what the article is about and what the author's key points are. These are some of the summary words that I want you to use when you write a summary this week. Here, let's try this. Which of these sentences, A, B, or C, which one is the best first sentence for a summary of the article Crowdsourcing and Crowdfunding? We read that a few weeks ago. I'm writing a summary of crowdsourcing. Which one should I use for my first sentence? So I hope you chose C. A says, this was a good article about business strategies. Okay, it doesn't have the title of the article. I'm not sure which article this is talking about. B says, the article Crowdsourcing and Crowdfunding explains the importance of these business practices. It gives me the title. It doesn't tell me very much. It doesn't tell me about the source. I'm going to give the source in the next one. And it doesn't tell me very much about the main idea. C is a good first sentence. The article Crowdsourcing and Crowdfunding in Making Connections For explains that crowdsourcing is a powerful way to get jobs done or raise money by using the internet to connect with a large number of people. So that's my summary of what's explained, described in that article. And now I'm going to write a whole paragraph. And let me just move this so you can see better. Here's my paragraph that's a summary, all about crowdsourcing and crowdfunding. Take a look. And as you read the paragraph, I want you to try to underline some of the summary words, the signal words that I used in order to show that this is a summary, that this is a restatement of someone else's ideas. So hopefully you saw these words throughout my summary, where I say in the first sentence, of course, the article, crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, explains that, and then I give the main idea. I go on to say the writer defines, and I tell you about his definition. I go on to say the article further points out, and I give you some of its supporting points. This sentence was all about that section about how to be successful in crowdsourcing according to the writer. And I give you more about the section about crowdfunding. And then the article shows, and that's how it ends, right? The article shows the benefits and possible risks of using these new business paradigms. So I'm giving you a sentence really for each section that's in that article, maybe 2 sentences for some of the sections, but I'm giving you 5 or 6 sentences for 5 or 6 sections. Here, let's look in your book, guys, and see how they wrote a summary using some of these summary words. So if you look on page 206, there's a paragraph there for you to fill in. You have to use the words that are in the white box. They're all verbs, except for the last one to sum up. How would you use these verbs? What are the clues that show you the best place to use these verbs? It's a good idea to just pause the video here and go ahead and work on page 206. How would you finish this summary? I'm going to give you my best answers, and you can see if you agree. So the first one I use is exposed. Exposed is something that is often used with the truth, right? And this one says, Malcolm Gladwell exposed the truth. And that works really well. For B, I used described. Gladwell described an important event. He might tell us all about that event. For C, I used argued. Jobs argued for, or it could say Jobs argued against, right? You argue for something or you argue against something. He argued for Apple's need to create a mouse. And D, I used remarked. Hovey remarked that, that's one of the verbs I use with the that clause, right? He said that, he claimed that, he remarked that. For E, for how he used something, I used explained, right? He explained how. He explained how to do something. I mean, you could use described how as well. You could use explained an important event. So some of these could interchange, but I would use explained when I'm telling how to do something. For F, what verb would you use talking about making a mistake? I used admitted. Xerox admitted that they had made a mistake. Xerox is the name of a company, and they admitted. And then G, that's easy. The last one will be to sum up, right? That expression that we can use, transition, at the end of a good paragraph. So guys, these are all verbs coming from page 205. And I'm going to ask you to use the box on page 205 when you write a summary. Use verbs like these in order to talk about a new article. Your assignment is Skill 9 assignment. It's about writing a summary. You're going to read and take notes on the article Outsourcing, which is in your book. It's on page 165. After you read it, after you annotate it, make an outline, and then you're going to write a summary of this article. Make your summary 4 to 6 sentences and use some of those words on page 205. Okay, all of this is there for you when you go to Skill 9. Let's just look really quickly, we have just a few minutes, at the article in your book. Here, take a look at page 165 and see if you can tell, what is this about? What is outsourcing? I see that the longer title says, Outsourcing, Managing Labor Needs. Again, another article about business, another article about how companies get their work, their labor done, right? How many sections do you see in this article? I see that there are 3 main sections, 11 paragraphs, right? And I just want you to think about, what is outsourcing? I see that they have a graph talking about jobs that get outsourced, and that's the only picture or the only clue they give me there. So here's a question for you just to consider. before you read the article.